see if that's on. Okay. Welcome, Patriots.
Imagine you are negotiating a peace deal. You sit across the table, you shake hands, you agree on the language and the terms and conditions, and then the next morning, the man who controls the missiles walks in and tears up the entire paper. That has been Iran's story for the last 4 months. A civilian president, a foreign minister, a parliament speaker, all of them trying to negotiate a peace deal, all getting overruled, all getting outgunned by one institution that answers to no one but itself, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. But here is the twist. Something has changed now. Something remarkable, I would say. Because the IRGC, the very force that blew up every ceasefire, that closed the Strait of Hormuz against its own government's orders, that blocked its own president from appointing a cabinet minister, that same IRGC has now agreed to negotiate with the United States of America in Doha. The guns are coming to the table now. Hello and welcome. I am Nikita Kapoor and you are watching Decode. And in this episode, we decode how the IRGC has not just taken over the war and decision making, but also the negotiations with the United States of America now sidelining the leadership yet again. US Vice President J.D. Vance revealed that one of the biggest breakthroughs of the Switzerland talks was an agreement in principle to establish a direct military communication channel between the
I don't know. I think he's been too easy on him. Way too easy on him.
Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and United States CENTCOM sitting together in Qatar. J.D. Vance said, "We will send somebody from the IRGC to go hang out in Doha with somebody from CENTCOM, and that is how we're going to settle a lot of these disputes." His words. To understand why this matters, you need to understand what Iran's power structure looked like in the last 4 months. It was not a government, it was a civil war in slow motion.
I agree.
The negotiations caused deep rift
I agree.
among several factions inside Iran. On one side, the pragmatist President Masoud Pezeshkian, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, all of them in one team. These men wanted a deal. They wanted the sanctions lifted. They wanted Iran's frozen billions returned. They wanted to rebuild a country that had been bombed for months. But on the other side, one man, IRGC Commander General Ahmad Wahidi. In every instance of disagreement, Wahidi came out on top, reportedly having frequently overruled both President Masoud Pezeshkian and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, while political leaders consistently.
Now, what's your thoughts on this guy? He's a real crazy. He's able to talk people into stuff, and it drives me nuts because he's such a snake to me.
And Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, while political leaders consistently pushed for a quick agreement to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and rehabilitate the economy, the IRGC disagreed time and again. Parliament Speaker Ghalibaf and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi could not make decisions without the IRGC's approval. Ahmad Wahidi himself stated that under wartime conditions, all critical positions must be chosen and managed directly by the Revolutionary Guards, by the IRGC.
Hey, Tammy.
This is the man who wanted Iran to keep fighting. This is the man who thought a bombed out, isolated, sanctioned Iran was in an advantageous position. And then came the most dramatic move.
You're all on different platforms.
That Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian had formally submitted a resignation letter to Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei, arguing that the presidency had been effectively excluded from major decision making and that he was unable to carry out his own responsibilities freely.
Yes.
Think about that for a moment. An elected president in a letter saying, I cannot govern because the men with guns won't let me do my job.
The reason why is I call him a snake is because you can't trust him. He lies.
The rise of the Revolutionary Guard as the dominant force in Tehran raised fresh doubts internationally about who was actually making decisions in Iran and whether any civilian official could still speak for the Iranian regime. That was the question, and it had a very dangerous answer. It was Wahidi who decided to link the end of the war in Iran with an end to Israel's war against Hezbollah in Lebanon, successfully tying Israel's hands in the fight, causing the United States to fear that any increased Israeli action in Lebanon against Hezbollah would collapse the entire negotiation with Tehran. The civilian government wanted peace. The IRGC wanted leverage. And for months, the IRGC won. So, what changed? How did we get from an IRGC that was sabotaging negotiations to an IRGC that is now sending a representative to sit in Doha with US CENTCOM? That question is still up for debate. But here is the question that should keep every diplomat in the region awake at night. The IRGC is not signing this deal out of goodwill.
Or loading the president.
Ahmed Wahidi,
they have no value.
Wanted by Interpol since 2007
good points.
For the AMIA bombing, sanctioned by Washington and Brussels, founder of the Quds Force, is now the genuine...
I would say that they're dragging it out just to wait us out. As long as they survive, they think they've won.
Center of gravity of Iranian power, making political and military decisions alongside alone. This is the man
they will likely be in later.
Now in dialogue with, not the elected president, not the foreign minister, the general, the army general. The IRGC entering negotiation is not a softening of Iran. It is the IRGC deciding that it and only it will control whatever deal comes next. The question is not whether that is a progress. It probably is. The question is, whose progress? What do you think about it? Tell us in the comment section below.
Yep. I wish I could say a little bit more. I think they should have finished the job actually sooner, but there's probably a path there, but the election's getting too close now because of the oil prices. That's why they're trying to close down the strait right now. There was some shooting Bahrain today, and now America's attacking them back within the last couple hours. So I think they totally got to take the equipment out. They're working on a laser system. I'll talk more about it after the next couple of videos about the laser system.
Going back to the so-called negotiations, this is the fascinating part. Vice President Vance, he says that the IAEA inspectors, the Atomic Agency inspectors, are going into Iran, right? And the Islamic Republic have agreed. Now the Islamic Republic comes out and says,
you don't want to do the UN ones. The UN ones, let them get away with crap, and a lot of the UN ones are Islamic ones as well.
No, we have not admitted, we have not agreed to this, and we haven't even talked about nuclear. We're not going to talk about nuclear. Vice President Vance also claimed that the Islamic Republic will use any funds from the frozen funds, financial assets, to buy U.S. products, including from U.S. farmers. Of course, the Islamic Republic also...
Can you see the comments coming over from YouTube up on the screen on the right-hand column there? I know that some are coming from Twitch, some are coming from Rumble, and some are coming from locals. Can you see each other's comments there up on the screen?
Denied it. And then the vice president also said that no money is being released to Iran, but then the Islamic Republic said that they will be receiving $12 billion now, and then the sanctions will be lifted, right? So the fascinating thing is that, technically speaking, based on common sense, yes, the IRGC are right to deny that they want to buy from the U.S. Farmers, or they are allowing inspectors to go in now, right?
Iran,
Having said that, the Islamic Republic are also doing their own version from the other side. So, for example, they go to the media and say the Americans have agreed that the end of war and ceasefire will include Israel, forcing Israel not to defend itself against Hezbollah. Of course, the Israelis and the Americans will come and say, no, we have not agreed to this. Or the Islamic Republic would basically say, the Americans have agreed that we, Iran, will be in charge of the Strait of Hormuz. And then the Americans will come and say, no, we haven't said this. So both sides have a few things to basically brag about, saying we won this. The other side have been forced to do it, and then the other side would deny, and then the other one would do the same thing. The interesting thing about this, ignore all this. It doesn't matter. It's just rhetoric. Action and outcome, the end game, that's important.
For some reason, BitChu's not coming through.
Important, not what people claim. For example, if you watch football, if a team shoots on target, one shot on target, and then imagine running around the field and the stadium saying, we have won, we are winning. Well, the other team will have 2 shots on target, and they say, no, we are winning more.
Mr. Rand, do you know of 2CTV?
Neither of you have won. Even if one of you scores one goal, you still haven't won. You're closer to winning, but you haven't won. The end of the game, whatever the result is, that's the outcome. So right now we're in a situation where both sides are basically shooting at each other's goals on target, and they're saying we won. And then there are people, depending on their political biases, they believe their side.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I can't spell. So if I spell anything wrong, I'm sorry. I'm a terrible speller. I'm partially deaf. I was born that way, by the way. Anyways, so he's so right. I got a little more on the attacks now. The regime is now going after trying to find the immortal guard, basically, is what they're trying to find.
In Iran, the Islamic Republic have now arrested more than 3,000 civilians, claiming that all these people are collaborating with the enemy, so the United States and Israel and the United Arab Emirates. So they are claiming that 684 Iranian civilians have carried out operational actions for Israel. This is according to the judiciary spokesman Asghar Jahangir in Iran.
Okay.
Another 1,258 people have been accused of carrying out political propaganda against the state. 1,061 Iranian people have had indictments issued, and the rest are in custody. So, over 1,000 have simply been arrested for exercising speech, because you don't have free speech. But if they criticize the government in Iran, that means they are doing political propaganda for the enemy against the state.
The only local comments that are coming through are my own.
Now, these are just the latest numbers.
Dang.
Forget about the regular executions and all the others that are being arrested. These are the ones that they have publicly admitted and announced. They are poking the bear. They are going around poking the bear, that is President Trump, by doing all this, by sending a message to Hamas and Hezbollah that we are not going to abandon you. They know that this is not over, so they're trying to have the upper hand, but they are making it easier for Israel and the United States to take action when the time comes. And of course, the midterm elections are very crucial, but at this point, you might potentially, if there is a solution, because the solution has to come from the US military, from Pentagon. They have to come up with a solution.
I know that they have to put that fear in them, Mr. Rand. They got to put that fear in them so that they're afraid to join the Immortal Guard and stuff like that. You know, I don't know if Mr. Rand, you heard that the Iranian Kurds. I know I want to clarify it because I know there's different groups of Kurds did some attacking last night and some today. I didn't know if you had heard that was going on near the border there.
It's not President Trump. President Trump makes the decisions, but the options that are presented are by the generals and CIA and the intelligence They have to provide the, if there is a solution that's worked out in the next few days, in the next few weeks, or a month or so, that is viable, that is able to give what President Trump ideally wants, which is a short and smooth operation, a quick victory. Quick victory is not really that possible in Iran, but they tried that a couple of times over the last year. But if they somehow find a way, right, then you might potentially see action before the midterms if it's able to be done quickly. Otherwise, the midterm elections are going to decide not just the war in Iran, but the future of the United States for the next few years. Because if the Democrats take over, obviously everything is over.
47 years. I think it's actually about 48 now. And I'm old enough to remember when this happened. And it's all because of Carter. Carter caused this to happen. And then he let Saddam come in as well. And then that war in between him messed up Syria really bad. He forced Egypt to let Muslim Brotherhood out of jail, which later became Hamas. All of it was messed up. Then he allowed Russia and Afghanistan thing to happen. So the tribes there all united. I don't know if you agree with me. I don't know if you agree with me, but let me know. I didn't really hear it. I'll look it up. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I got a little video on that, I think, a little bit later. Okay. So I'll play a little bit on that. So in any case, yeah, so there was some border clashes, and the Kurds actually won against the IRGC, and so they had to send more people in. The problem the Kurds have with fighting against them is the drones. You got to be able to take out the drones. Yeah, they use fear and torture and all that kind of stuff, disappearing people, make them pay for the bullets that kill them. I don't know, what's your thoughts on the numbers? It ranges anywhere from 40 to 60,000 people were killed in the January uprising. So, oh yeah, I agree. Carter was kind of a Jewish hater. I think it really had a lot to do with that. I think so. If you ask me, I don't know why. All right, and speaking of that, do you know in England right now you can be arrested for wearing the Star of David around your neck? Watch this.
So they are now arresting people in the United Kingdom for wearing a Star of David necklace. Oh, and before y'all try to argue with me that didn't happen, here's the video.
What necklace are you wearing?
What necklace am I wearing?
Yeah.
Star of David.
Because the officer details this in their statement.
Okay.
I'm not asking that question.
Wait a minute. Most hated man.
Any offence.
I am with you.
If we'd have proceeded with my line of questioning, the officers have noted in their statements that they believed that because the Star of David was out and present to people, which may take either offence to the presence of it, they felt that was antagonising the situation.
Yeah, no.
That's legitimately why they arrested him. He was.
I don't know if you follow American politics, but Mandami, totally. It's another. It's going to be terrible.
Is wearing a Star of David necklace in the presence of Muslims. Now, regardless of how you feel about Israel
you don't
or how
feel
you feel
bad
about
for
Jewish
him?
people, that's not acceptable. In a free,
they're trying to rise up and kick out all the illegals and stuff like that. But with birth rates, even if they stop the borders now, they're going to lose in the long run.
Nation, that is absolutely not acceptable. It could be the same thing with a cross or anything. Take your pick.
You type fast.
Him wearing a necklace that expresses his religion, if that leads to him getting arrested, you no longer have a free nation. The UK is no longer free. Now, I think they're immensely lucky that this happened in the UK instead of the United States. Because had someone been detained in the US and brought in for questioning because they were wearing a religious necklace, the lawsuit would be...
And he's getting plenty of people that will join him elected too. And New York's a lost cause almost. Starting to happen in Texas too. Tammy's from Texas.
But I don't think they really have that in the UK. I mean, I know they have lawsuits, but they don't really have rights. I think that's very obvious by the video.
Now, Miss Iran posted this about chemical attacks. This is in Iran. And this is what they did to their own students, their own kids.
مرگ لعنت به خامنه لعنت.
Unbelievable. Mr. Rand, when about did this happen? It happened last year or something like that? The chemical attacks? I don't know. Anyways, Tammy, this is happening in Texas, Houston, Texas Center. Watch this. Jesus, my ass. Oh, okay. You see, after you got elected with those free bus fares, they raised the bus fares up higher. All they are about is extracting money. They're trying to bankrupt. And then now he's taking away all this rental property and stuff like that. He's forcing a lot of them out so the government takes over. Look at all these kids they're brainwashing. And they're going to be taught to hate America, to kill anyone that's not them. Oh, 22, 23? Wow. Yeah, this is Texas. A very long time has passed. Every nation is full of tears. Don't worry about it. Now, Texas is trying to do some moves to stop them from putting new ones in. They haven't been able to get rid of the old ones. This is part of their game plan. No doubt. It's part of their game plan. In fact, they've been doing this for years. Watch what they're teaching little kids over there.
وسوف ترى لعطر ديارك تكون المعارك لأجل دمارك وسام الثرى مشينا بسمر لجز ونحر بسكين.
This must be banned in the United States. Yeah, takes me a while to catch up on the thing. Maybe lessons for New Yorkers. Believe it or not, Mr. Rand, I live in New York, but I live in upstate New York, about an hour from Niagara Falls. I don't know if you know our geography very well, but yeah, it's not great. No, this is the propaganda that they've been putting out there on the left, and they don't even question it. These are dolls. This is fake. I'm warning this because I know YouTube, Facebook, if I get knocked off, it's probably going to be because of these videos. I'll play the first one first here.